The target is that you reach $1 million. All right, after I made that short about Roth IRA, a lot of you guys had questions. What is a Roth IRA? A Roth IRA is a tax advantaged account, right? This is basically an account where you put your post-tax dollars into an account and let it grow for up to the duration of your retirement age. This is very important for people who are 18 or 20 or just starting off, that if you start putting your money in a Roth IRA, start contributing $6,000 a year, which is the cap, by the time you're in your 60s, you should relatively have $1 million already saved up. And when you withdraw that money, because you already paid taxes on it, it's pretty much $1 million without taxes. If you do it right, you can make more than $1 million, up to $3 to $4 million, depending on your projections. And if you're averaging about 10 to 13% return, which if you go to the right fund, most likely you can attain those numbers. Now, there are different types of Roth IRAs that you can deal with and different brokerages that you can deal with. So for example, there are self-directed Roth IRAs, and then there are automated Roth IRA or robo-advisor Roth IRAs, and so on and so forth. Depending on what you want to do, if you want to be the person that controls every single stock that you're investing in, then you want a self-directed Roth IRA. You can use different types of brokerages. We have Webull, we have Charles Schwab, we have a bunch of different ones. You can look it up to see where you can buy your own stocks and take care of that in those type of funds. Then you have like a robo-advisor, or you have somebody that's taking care of those investments for you. Personally, I use Wahid Invest because I care about halal and ethical investing. That's my personal preference. They do all the work for me and I don't have to worry. So it's kind of a set it and forget it type of thing. And if you just schedule yourself, I know $6,000 to a lot of people right now, especially, or if you're just starting off, $6,000 seems like a lot. But if you break it up into 2 payments every month or 1 payment a month, then you're talking about $250 every 2 weeks or $500 a month over the course of a year. So it's actually not that much money. Also, you get tax benefits from it if you talk to your tax advisor or your CPA or your tax prep person or professional. They can help you out with that, or different types of tax benefits. But main thing is start investing early. At least you'll have a nice little nest egg by the time you retire. If you keep contributing towards it, you'll see fine. Sometimes we don't want slow growth, especially in the last year or so. In 2020, we saw these crazy gains in the market, but that's not something that you can see projected for the long run. So small, safe investments sometimes are better, and you can adjust your risk appetite. So direct or indirect, you can adjust your risk appetite of how you want your money to be invested, but I definitely recommend that you start doing it early. This is also in comparison to a 401k or a Roth 401k. There are different types of opportunities, but my personal preference is a Roth IRA, unless you get a 401k match. There's other complications that come with that. Roth IRAs are generally about 7% growth. That's kind of the target that you want. You can realistically get 10 or 13% if you hook up with the right people or the right types of fund that are directing your investments, but that depends a lot on how you decide to invest. It's also not capped at like $1 million. For example, Peter Thiel, I believe, of PayPal, he invested in his Roth IRA. He amassed hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe, or I think it's about $5 billion actually. Yeah, he amassed $5 billion that a lot of people started freaking out about, because the Roth IRA means he won't be taxed on $5 billion, but he played by all the rules. So that's also a thing that can possibly happen with a self-directed Roth IRA. But either way, the target is that you reach $1 million. Look into the history of the Roth IRA. It is made by a senator that proposed that, you know what, let's give our middle class a chance to invest in the ways that richer people or people in higher income brackets invest, and give them a chance to retire with $1 million easy. So Roth IRA is a great thing to take advantage of. So definitely consider starting a Roth IRA, not financial advice. You probably won't regret it. Or you probably won't regret it. If you made it this far, if nobody loves you, I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.